Hello guys, so in this video I'm going to reveal exactly the game plan the SEC is trying to use in going after PulseChain. Now there's some important things that we've got to learn first. So let's listen to a video from Katie where she's talking about exactly why PulseChain is not a security. Now this is important for several reasons. I'll let you know at the end of this clip.
So when you're looking at PulseChain, right, how do you try to deem PulseChain a security? So it's like Hex, right? Don't look at necessarily things around it. Look at the asset itself for a second. PulseChain has 37,000 community-run validators, right? Those validators are spread all across the world. They're not just based in America. They're not just based in Australia or one central country. So the SEC cannot just walk in and say everybody has to shut it down in America. They're home-run PCs. Okay, you can't go around the world and turn them off. The initial validators that PulseChain was launched with have gone offline. So it is completely and utterly community-run and decentralized. You can't actually stop it. What else would make PulseChain a security? Well, entrepreneurial and managerial efforts. So what do you see in other L1 launches that you don't see in PulseChain? Well, the biggest one is grant programs. Now that is a managerial and entrepreneurial effort of a blockchain foundation to pay people to build on their chain. That is the definition of a so-called security, because that foundation and that blockchain put in the effort for people to have expectations of the work of them. Okay, so it goes back to no expectations of the work of others. It literally means those types of things, right? So any blockchain, so to speak, underneath the SEC's law that goes out and puts out a grant program and pays people to build on chain, that gives their people that are buying assets on to do with their blockchain expectations of them, right? Expectations of profit from them for their efforts. PulseChain doesn't have that again, right? PulseChain is completely grassroots and community driven. PulseChain's community goes out and gets people to build on chain. PulseChain's community builds on chain. PulseChain's community runs the validators that runs the entire network.
Okay, there we have it. PulseChain is completely decentralized, so it cannot be a security. But then why would the SEC still go after PulseChain despite the fact that this over 30,000 validators, marketing is all community driven, there's no grant program, the community builds all the stuff that adds value to PulseChain? Why would they go after it? Well, the answer is simple. PulseChain appears to be an easy target because there may not be so much community support around the entire crypto space. That might create an opportunity that they think that could allow them to, in essence, maybe, I don't know if the right word to use is bully, but whatever the right word is, but it might create that perception. But there is a bigger goal if you look at it deeply. What could that bigger goal be? Let's listen to what Somi has to say.
The SEC, they're coming after altcoins today. They ban a lot of altcoins. They're trying to, you're a security. Okay, but this is the playbook. They come after altcoins. Then they will use their win as a leverage to go after Ethereum. Yes, they're regulating Ethereum, friends. They're gonna find a way to call it a security. They're gonna find a way to say, oh, Ethereum staking. They're gonna do it right now. People are too naive. That's one of the worst flaws of humans. We're way too naive. We trust humans like, oh yeah, sweet, that person's all right. You don't know they're a serial killer. They just literally ate pineapples and pizza together last night. You can't trust this person.
Okay, here's what we need to understand. PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum. That means PulseChain is identical in terms of its code, is identical to Ethereum. So if they allege that PulseChain is a security, what does that mean for Ethereum? How can two things that are identical be different? They cannot be. And if you look deep down into it, if you look at the things mentioned earlier, PulseChain doesn't have a central entity that controls it. PulseChain doesn't have a group that gives grants to help develop the ecosystem. But Ethereum does have those things. Ethereum does have some centralized entities like Consensus, like Vitalik, that really do a lot of work in order to enhance or in order to create utility for Ethereum. So if we have that big difference, that big leg of the Howey test that says positive for Ethereum as a security and negative for PulseChain as a security, but everything else is identical. The code is identical. Then that means that the big goal could be going after Ethereum. And remember, guys, the law is not made for just one person and then another person has their own version. If they're identical, they're identical. A quick example is this. Bitcoin has largely been said that it is safe, right? Most people say that Bitcoin is not a security. But then the same works for Bitcoin Cash, the same works for Litecoin. I've never really heard any controversy around these coins that are direct forks of Bitcoin, that function in the same way that Bitcoin functions, that are proof of work chains. I've never really heard that same argument. But in this regard, if they can go after PulseChain, they can go after anything else. This is the one thing that most people in the crypto space have not yet accepted or embraced. But it is the reality that if they can go after PulseChain, they can go after Ethereum or anything else that works the same way. Because of fairness. That's how things work. Now, this is not to say that everything is always 100% fair, but it definitely creates this massive, massive open door that allows everything to become a security and under the jurisdiction of the SEC. And remember, guys, if Ethereum is not a security, then folks of the Ethereum should not be either. And if that is the case, that means that the SEC will have no jurisdiction over PulseChain or Ethereum. But if they do have a jurisdiction over PulseChain, they have jurisdiction over Ethereum as well. Now, obviously, guys, all of the stuff in this video is just my opinion. That's what I think. And then there's also the opinions of the that I've shared data from other people as well. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about all of this. Obviously, none of this is any kind of advice, not financial, not legal, nothing. Again, an opinion. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.